What is up, everybody? So, with the park being inundated with a bunch of people, whatever little festival they have, where I usually walk my dog, hey, I think I'm going to walk in the other direction and avoid all that, as it is, I think, 89 degrees out here, even with like a slightly cool breeze. My office was like 110. It's unreal. So, it is the 4th of July. And here's the deal. We all want to believe we're free, and to a large extent, especially here, we are. You're free to watch Jason Burmis anytime you want. Here he is. He's talking to you. You can express yourself in a way you can't in many other cultures and countries. However, there's some big problems with America's freedom, if you will. And I think those have to be addressed too. In a post 9/11 world, when the 4th of July was coming around, and we're talking, right after the invasion of Iraq and that mess, I just kept thinking to myself, man, all these people who are so brainwashed against brown people have no idea the effects of which our military force has on them, their culture, and their quote-unquote freedom. Because, like it or not, agree with somebody's morals, beliefs, or religious beliefs for that matter, or not, they're theirs. That's why people fled to this country. That was the whole deal. So now, imposing easy karma. Go. Keep moving. Move. Sorry. Dog stuff, guys. Go. Anyway. She's all bark, no bite. Don't worry, guys. Anyway, getting back to this. Right now, today, no one's really talking about Iran and the possibility of us going in there. However, that's a very real possibility. And I'm going to be doing a separate video later on how Israel is really kind of starting to show their true colors. You want to go? You can go. Yes, no? Man, people drive crazy around here. So, Israel is now starting to come out and say, look, we're preparing for the United States to take military action. Oh, really? Now, it's been kind of odd. Hey, check this out, guys. This is the famous Hartwick Wall. So this is the private college I didn't go to, but I think we're going to actually walk through my old college. I think that's what this walk and talk is going to be. So, Karma, come on. Enough. Oh, man, I'm losing my thought in this weather, guys. I'm not going to lie. This isn't my best walk and talk. Whew. What was I talking about? Anybody want to let me know? I got no comments in here. I got 1 thumbs up. I got 4 people watching. It is a holiday. I get it. Iran, Israel, that's where I was. So, Israel's now gearing up for military force as well. But there's a large opposition in that country to Netanyahu. They don't like how aggressive he is militarily. For instance, Ehud Barak, one of the former Israeli prime ministers, is saying basically the Zionist dream is going to die because of his aggressiveness. Now, I'm not a Zionist. I don't think that people should be taking other people's land, expanding on it, militarizing over it, and that type of thing. I think it's crazy. But at least Barak and his supporters, which are many, want a 2-state solution. And it's very apparent that Netanyahu and his cronies, they have no desire for that. They have desire for total dominance in that region. And with our help and Saudi Arabia's help, it's happening. It's happening big time. And this is the big one, guys. Is that going to be freedom for the 81 million people in that country? Is that going to be freedom for probably the tens of thousands of American soldiers that are going to die in that conflict? That's a real thing. We ain't walking through these guys, okay? Nobody talks about, to this day, the thousands of troops that have died in Afghanistan and Iraq over the years. Why? Because no one made an uproar about it. It's been almost 18 years. They're like, whatever. We got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. And that's not how I look at things, guys, at all. You know, I think to myself, if we want true freedom in this country, we need to take back our constitutional republic, period. And we ain't doing that at all. We don't have a system of checks and balances. We don't have an actual judicial, executive, and legislative branch. What do we have? Well, when you look at the legislative branch, right? Congress, Senate, you have a bunch of puppets that are bought out by special interests. Karma, come on. That are bought out by special interests and serve the purpose of globalism, of corporatism, of devils like Big Pharma, Big Agra, the military-industrial complex. Is that freedom? Are those people working on behalf of their constituents? No, they're not. It's not even close. It's not a thing. It's really upsetting, actually. So, in that sense, to me, where's the freedom there? Okay? Now let's look at our judges. Our judges are largely bought and paid for as well. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there worrying that RBG is going to bite the bucket and Trump's going to put another conservative judge on the panel. But in reality, hasn't our Supreme Court failed us again and again and again? I mean, think about it. We live in a national security state. Those judges are complicit. When Mike Pompeo can give presentations about using the Authorization of Military Force Act passed 7 days after 9/11 to try to justify going into Iran, do we really have judges that are, checking up on the executive power? No, we don't. We don't. And we certainly don't have a legislator that does so. So now, let's get to that executive branch. How powerful is it? Well, that's the thing, guys. Everything that's super powerful, that actually enacts anything, isn't even really part of that anymore. They're part of black programs and projects, and those that run them on behalf of the tech giants, right? You look at the National Security Agency, for instance, right? They're supposed to have our best interests at heart, but what are they doing? They're in bed financially with Bezos. They're allowing him to construct their data center, right? On top of that, he owns the Washington Post, and he gives money to BuzzFeed, okay? So their power, their military-industrial complex power, it's not to protect us, and largely it's corporate. And that's why, a lot of times when I hear, oh, we need anarchy, I'm like, no. The true freedom that our forefathers gave to us with this idea, with this country, with the Constitution and Bill of Rights, is that you could change it for the better. You could amend it. Okay? You could amend it. That's why it always irks me when people are like, well, they were rich white slave owners. Yeah, they were. And they were working within that parameter of time. And they made it so that we could fix that problem later on. And if only we still had a constitutional republic, instead of really a technopoly in this country, a military-industrial complex, a media-industrial complex dictatorship, well, then I'd be happy about our freedom. But that's not to say, I'd rather live somewhere else. I feel extremely blessed to be in this country, talking to you guys, expressing myself, talking about the problems, the inner workings, the real issues. What are we saying? Have you already watered the Constitution down enough with amendments? I don't know what that means. And I'm not Luke, so I don't know what that means either. No, we haven't watered down the Constitution with amendments. We do need amendments to the Constitution. This new, This new thing they passed in New York about no longer giving out religious exemptions for kids to go to school. It's insane for vaccines. That's got to be the most unconstitutional thing in the world. Think about it. Again, the people that came to this country came here to worship as they wanted. And our forefathers, when creating that document, saw that. And you don't have to believe what I believe. And I don't have to believe what you believe. But we should all believe that we will let others worship as they will and have their own ideas. That's true freedom. Oh, but I don't know that we have that anymore. I don't know that we have that anymore. When you can't claim a religious exemption on the government forcibly putting something into your body. That's insanity. In fact, just the idea, I should be able to claim, especially myself, I'm not very religious, I'm agnostic at best. I certainly believe there's something out there. I don't believe, there's nothing to life and that we don't have a soul, etc., etc. I think there is. I think there's a lot of evidence for that as well. But because I'm not a Catholic or a Protestant or a Methodist or I'm not a Muslim, etc., etc., all of a sudden I'm not protected by the same rights that someone does when it comes to the government saying when I have to put something in my body. That's insanity. That's insanity. And, there's people coming after me saying, oh, you're an anti-vaxxer. I'm like, well, no, I believe the technology is real. I just don't trust those who are administering it, period. You shouldn't. Again, look at who we talked about. Where's the corruption at? It's at the highest levels of government, big corporations, etc. Those are facts, Jacks. And those people are about one thing: profit and power. And that's it. And, you got some other top dogs out there that do have visions for the future, a globalist vision. That's why I made Invisible Empire, a New World Order Defined. And I guess the one good thing about, and there are many, of the freedom we have here is that I can still produce media like that. And yeah, the algorithm will hunt it down and they won't suggest it as much and it'll get demonetized and it'll get demonized if it does get popular, just like Loose Change did, but that's fine. It still resonates in the minds of people out there. And whether that is one person, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, you never know. And by the way, let's say it's just one person. That one person can help change the world for the better too. That one person can go out and build upon your research. I've given everything I've ever done away for free. And I've encouraged people to share it. And that's freedom, Right now, with this technopoly, with Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, kind of leading their own little digital revolution of tyranny globally, in bed with not only the United States government, but the Chinese government, etc., you have to wonder, how much freedom are we going to have unless we build not an alternative platform, but an alternative internet? And that's the thing. I think that's very possible in today's world with this technology. As technology gets shared more and more, as it becomes more and more open and more people have access to it, well, folks, that gives me hope. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn around. We're approaching the college. And I'm going to bid you guys a farewell. I hope that everybody has a great time this evening with their fireworks, their picnic and barbecue plans, their family. I know that I'm probably going to head to the park, meet the kids there and my sister, and another dog, and go check out some fireworks with my community. Give my brother a call. We'll get together this weekend for the big UFC fights. Live my freedom. That's my freedom, The freedom to do this, the freedom to enjoy my life, the freedom to raise my kids the way I want, and the freedom to express myself. And thank you for helping me do that, guys. In fact, got a big GoFundMe donation, I believe by Christine Daly, just about half an hour, 40 minutes ago. Thank you so much. And Erica Jill, she dropped some dimes on me. Thank you so much. I'm going to do a 20K AMA, but I'm also probably going to have Dylan Avery back on this week, and we're going to do an hour-long broadcast with him as well. So, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you later.